So what I'm going to do is complete the conversion for the HTML event attributes into the DOM event handlers and listeners. I'm going to do it in this converted BMI file. And you're basically going to be doing the same exact thing in your Windchill.js file. So what I'm going to do, first of all, because this is not in an external file, I'm going to move the script tags down to the bottom. Okay, and then we said get rid of the onloads and onclicks. So those would be the HTML attribute events. So I'm going to get rid of the onload, which is in body. And I'm going to replace that with a window.document.load. And I'm going to set that equal to get focus, which is the function that I want to call. Okay, and so at this point, that's the first thing that will execute. And it does the exact same thing as having the onload, having it call get focus in the body. Does the exact same thing. Then I can see I've got a couple of input elements that I'm using as buttons. They do not have IDs, so they do need IDs for this. And so I'm going to put IDs for both of them. Whoop. Hate that when my laptop does that. Okay, we'll try this again. All right, so now I've got IDs in both, and with the IDs, I can add listeners. So for this first conversion, I'm going to say document.getElement by ID, and I'm looking for the ID, the calc ID, and I'm going to add an event listener to that. And I am looking for them to click on that element, and when they do, I'm going to have it call calc BMI. And when you put a function call in an event listener, you do not put parentheses after it unless you're going to be passing parameters, and then there's a little different way you have to code it. So for us, when you're over here using the Windchill, you're going to do it this way because there's no parameters that you need to pass. Okay, so it'll be just like that. Your function does not have to change. And then we're going to do a little listener down here as well. So a document.getElement by ID. And our ID for this is reset. And we need to add the event listener. And this is a click event too. And then we're going to call get focus. And again, no parentheses on this. And once we've got those listeners in, we can come up here and delete those HTML on-click attributes. And we have made the conversion. So I'm going to save this. And we'll reload. And immediately I can see that at least the window document onload worked because the focus is in the right spot. And calculate works, and so does reset. So that is the first conversion you're going to do. You're going to be doing that over here in the Windchill file. And the HTML you need to change. You're going to have to get rid of those attributes. Okay, and use the event listeners for these two, and use the DOM property for this one. Then the second part of this involves converting the Windchill function to use an anonymous function. Okay, so over here, what that is referring to is this main function should be an anonymous function. So in our little example, that would be the calc BMI function. So we need to convert this to be anonymous. So to do that, we're going to get rid of, we're going to use the same listener, okay? But we're going to get rid of calc BMI and we're going to put in function. Now, when you do an anonymous function, you do put in the parentheses because you're creating the whole function in this location. So I need to have my curly brace, my opening curly here. Okay, and then I've got all of my code. And this is my closing curly. So I need my right parenthesis and a semicolon. Okay, and then the function line, the line with function calc BMI, it was deleted. So let me undo this so you can see. Okay, so I had highlighted all of that and keyed in function. I just want to make sure that you guys caught that. So right over the top of the highlighting, keyed in function, got the opening curly, got the corresponding closing, and then I finish it off with the right parenthesis, semicolon. That is all you have to do to convert to an anonymous function. And you always want to test. So if we come out here and we test, it should still work. And it does. So you're going to be doing pretty much the exact same thing to Windchill.